What's good? It's your boy 11 here. We live right now at the official Major World Online. Today's a special show, but fair to it's the last episode of the year. It's the last episode of the year. But then how you feel, man, the guy?
Standardizations on fleek, man. Standardizations on fleek. The show for greatness, the show for young people. Official Major World, man. We began this year. We are ending the proceedings off in town. Not on a sad note, but in fact, on a jump-a-thon type of note, man. Mr. 11, I would like to say, man. The weekend. How was the weekend now?
The weekend was a jump.
Serious?
Yeah, it was a jump.
Yeah,
I was at my winning. Yeah, it was cool. It was dope.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And then Mr. Chevy Rosso where needs me. Happily my city by Mr. East God and so like. In terms of weekend, man, like Lena on my side, it was I won't say king you know, you know, I didn't go out, man. I was even telling you, but at the same time, I too, man. Like this is just me to you. I prefer to be outdoors. I prefer to be outdoors than being indoors. Because when I'm indoors, supposedly I'm supposed to be productive. In fact, I'm more productive outdoors. So, you know what? I didn't go out, and going out doesn't mean like this is just me to you until via thinking progressively. That's what official Major World has been throughout the year, man. As Mr. 11 Natural, it's our last show, man. How do you feel, man?
I'm happy, dog. I'm not happy that the show is ending or it's our last show, but I'm happy that, dog, you know what? It's been a good year. It's been a good experience. Yeah. Like from where we started, like I remember my first ever show, dog. Sure. Hey, dog, the shit was in my stomach and I was scared, but like now, I just freestyle this thing like I'm used to it, dog. You know, so it's been a good show. Yeah. It's been a good year. Where now? Your side, how do you feel?
Yo, man, like it's in regards to the show, man, it's been like such a wonderful experience, man. I won't lie, my first day, like I was nervous, cause I jumpy so but nervous in a good way. I thought how when you speak about positive pressure.
Yeah. Like you gotta do it either way.
And then we had the first you know, and you know what I loved about it, man. So you know, I was able to still like, you know, take care of the situation, you know, like make people laugh, and I was like, you know what, it's as simple as that, man. It's all about doing you, man. And official Major World, man, has been the catalyst for a lot of people this whole year, and like, you know, that's what I also just want to mention by official, because the initial idea was like, gonna be a hip hop show and then this is and I'm still mentioning this, man. Homies, get your emails accordingly, man. Firstly, secondly, kubana the SoundCloud account and number 3, like that's the other thing, man. These are simple things and this is just me to you and man, Josie, you know,
Ricky Minaj,
the one, man, the one. Standardizations,
even Simone, but then it's recent things. Naki wants to say like, there's this chick that came, Sibagazi. Timbagazi. That was one of the best. I could call it Joshua because it was good. But then after, Joseph Fuller, and it was dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
I like the metaphors behind the show, and yeah.
A little easy, man. Like, you know, it's been phenomenal.
Everyone that came
to the new year, man. It's about to come up, man. 6 weeks of madness we're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna be having a wonderful lady, Miss Roseanna Hall. But there was a young homie, Mr. Tyreek Webster, man. And in terms of playlist, we're gonna be talking about. And like some of the best.
I hear that you're trapping, I really don't see it. My baby tripping, I really don't know. With the rhyme, trap with the key like I'm Susie.
The listening session got tricky. B430 from Alex, man. Coming from his straight from his new EP, Haze, man. Shout out to Mr. Magnum45 on Instagram. Look on Twitter at Magnum45. Hit him up, and then before that, after that, Mr. Stu Gang, man. Stu Gang, shit government. Hit track of the year, man. Mr. 11.
Yo, but 50, he had it from official Major World Online. Hey, man, now the situation, the temperature's changing down.
Too much, man. Too much.
Down. The studio is full right now. We got the whole squad prepared too.
Official major world crew in the building, Mr. Jeezy, Mr. Soweto Hippie. Cannot forget, man, our lovely guest just came into the show. Firstly, the first one is lovely on another level. Miss Roseanna Hall. Okay, is it Roseanna?
Let me help you.
Okay, let's do it.
Roseanna.
Roseanna.
I know, guys. That's why I've abbreviated it to Rose, because all my life I've struggled
Serious?
with pronunciation.
Yeah.
I've been called Roxina, Roseanna,
Yo.
Rosianna. So I was like, let's simplify it. Rose.
Rose.
Done.
Nice.
Everyone knows what a rose is. Simple.
Otherwise, let's keep on.
Good, guys. I'm awesome. Happy the year's ending.
Yeah.
You know, it's that time of the year when everyone's reflecting on the
What
past
happened?
12 months. What have we done?
Yeah.
What have we achieved?
On your side, how has it been?
2018 has been a combination of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think there's been tons of highs, tons of lows, tons of moments where you were like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, really though? Some moments where you just like, where I just wanted to give up.
Seriously?
But yeah. But thank God, by the grace of God, we don't give up. We keep going, we keep moving, and now we're on the brink of a new year. So.
In fact, like, where you originally from?
So I'm originally from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
I was born in Harare, which is a capital
Yeah,
city.
capital, yeah.
So I am Mugabe's child.
to put it mildly.
To put it mildly. Yeah, so originally from Zimbabwe. I've been in South Africa for about 5 years now.
Yeah.
I came to Johannesburg to find the gold, like
Obvious.
everybody
I
else.
know.
Hey! So I came here to study
Yeah.
and got my degree, and yeah, that's how I ended up.
Degree in what?
So I have a degree, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and Political Science.
Was it what you originally wanted to do from the A, like when you were in matric and you were like, yo, show me, like,
No.
yes, I want to do, yeah.
Okay, true story. I wanted to do law.
Yeah.
I applied to WITS and I applied to UCT,
Yeah.
and they denied me.
Seriously.
So I was like, okay, did some reflecting and decided to do psychology.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I cannot, because I had taken a gap year. I was like, I can't take another gap year. And let me try find a degree that will allow me to do a wide variety of things, because I can't afford to be at home for another year. So my path with psychology started with rejection from law.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then you decided you come alone, or like,
Yes.
seriously?
Yeah.
Shout out to struggle icons.
Yeah, guys, came alone in the big city. Like, it's rough.
Yeah.
Being away from family,
Yeah.
not knowing anyone, coming to a completely new country and trying to make it, trying to be someone in a place where no one knows you.
You know?
So, yeah, it was really, really challenging in that sense. But again, by God's grace,
Yeah.
Kept on going.
I feel this feels like home to me. I have family now.
Seriously.
Friends that became family.
Yeah.
I don't feel any different to someone that was maybe born in South Africa.
Yeah.
Because of the opportunities that were made available to me.
I also love the concept that you did psychology, because I've recently found out, like, me, considering I've been learning some psychology, well, not in a UNISA type of vibe, but, you know, on my own personal capacity.
Yes.
And I discovered, you know what, every single human being needs to have an ounce or understanding of how the mind works, you know, because of, you know, as you're mentioning, like, you've been going through your own shit by yourself, you know, and I can imagine, like, insecurities, did you have any? And then even self-doubt, procrastination, like those type of vibes, how did you battle them? And any stories that people can resonate with?
Okay, so on procrastination, that's something that I struggle with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Like, it's my number one disease that I struggle with. But to your question, I definitely can say that in terms of struggles, one of the things that I faced, so in my first year, I had a sponsor that paid for my fees. And then in my second year, I got a scholarship, a bursary from my varsity. Then in my third year, I was now struggling to pay for my fees. So I literally went on a hunt to find sponsorship, to find, bursaries, applying for stuff, approaching people. Literally went knocking on so many doors. Like, I can show you my Gmail account.
Seriously.
It's emails and applications, knocking on doors, talking to people. And one of the scariest things that I faced in that regard was I had a meeting with like an owner of a certain non-profit organization, and obviously we were discussing now in terms of you pay my fees and exchange for, like, I can work for you once I've graduated, or a payment plan of some sort. And this guy was like, yes, cool, keen, and it was a proper organization, a proper company.
Putting fire.
And what ensued after that was this guy basically saying, yo, I will do this for you if you become my girlfriend. Note, this man is 60 years plus. So I was shocked, I was taken aback, and at that point I was just like, maybe this education thing is not for me, because there was, and a part of you actually feels like, okay, maybe I should sacrifice it, because slave queens are on the rise. All of these ladies that access resources to get what they need to get. I can never judge them because I don't know what they've been through in life, and what everybody has their own story and struggle. And I was like, is that me? Is that the route that I'm supposed to take? I don't know. So I was faced with that, and I battled that, and I didn't take the offer. But that was one of the things that really discouraged me, and I felt like, is this the only way?
Is it worth it? And you in JHB,
Yes.
So how does because I saw in your profile there was the Miss Zimbabwe aspect.
Yes.
I was before the show began. I was telling the audience over, like, you've got that beauty whereby men start saying these weird things, like ubuhle bakho, like ufana njenge what, and what we think, what, you'll never be poor ever in your life, but here we go, you've got your own story. So the Miss Zimbabwe, how does it come into the picture? And you in fact, like, was it really what you wanted to pageantry then?
Okay, so to answer you, this pageant was held here in South Africa. So it's called Miss Zimbabwe Diaspora. So it's basically for Zimbabweans living in South Africa, because as you all know, like, there's a large community of Zimbabweans in this country, and it's basically a platform, a community and support group for Zimbabweans living in this country, to kind of give back to South Africa, to kind of support South Africa in the small way that we can, because we have benefited so much from, so much from living here, so much from the economy and so forth. So it's kind of like, what can we do to give back? So that was where the pageant stemmed from, and it resonated with me because I love my home country. I love Zimbabwe, but obviously I've grown to love South Africa. So how can I kind of be, kind of do something that will bring in these two countries on one stage and one platform. So, and also, gives me the opportunity to work with South African charities, South African organizations. So that's where that stemmed from.
So, like, was it so that organization that organizes it, it's like a non-profit organization. It's not like like Miss South Africa, whereby so many people are involved, be car manufacturers and yes.
So
is it more non-profit? And then you haven't begun anything on your side
in terms of
like non-profit,
So at this stage, I do want to start something. I'm passionate about babies. I'm passionate about girls. I'm passionate about education. So there's a lot of things that I want to do. At this stage, I work with an NPO called Help to Read. So what they do is, their passion is literacy. So what they do is, you go into schools and primary schools, and you volunteer helping kids to read. So you volunteer like an hour, 2 hours a week. You sit with the kids, assisting them with their reading and so forth. So or NPOs like that I work with, the Nzani Children's Home as well. So there's things that I plug into, but one of my goals is to start something of my own, as you've mentioned.
Seriously.
So I know you guys are involved in charity work.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
Mr. Eli.
Sorry, I just flipped the interview.
No, you know what? There's no problem. Like we are interacting.
Yeah.
You know, we are mingling. Official Major World, like we have. Let me rather explain it like this. Né? Isn't this the Official Major World, the radio show? And then on Thursday, every fortnight we have a live show called #MajorWorldLive. So some of the artists that have pulled through for interviews, they also pull through and then come and perform. We have the event at the basement, but obviously we're closed for now. So when people pull through, it's a free event, but people pull through with 10 stuff. So we can bring your chakalaka, your baked beans, you know, your mixed beans, and then you come and have a jump with us. But the beautiful thing is that every Sunday there's an initiative called #MapaSundays. So it is based in Soweto, where I live in Orlando West. So I pull through like everybody that is here, like we come together and then we start doing some cooking. And the beautiful thing is that it's men who are cooking, and we do some hella nice food.
That's amazing.
So we're planning something ginormous for like Christmas, because you know on Christmas, like this is going to be my first Christmas without my mom, you know, real talk. And I noticed that, you know, there's a lot of homeless people in Johannesburg. But
Sure.
and the second thing that I always mention is that, you know, this person used to have an ID just like me and you know, and he's a fellow South African, and why can't we share the love to those people? And Christmas, you know, I think we can spare at least an hour, 2 hours, and then just deliver some food parcels, maybe at least for my 20 to 30, make it a bigger drive than the drive that we usually have, you know, because the ones that we usually have, like, no offense, just that, you know, they're in our community. So this one I want to do it in the CBD, because there's a huge contingent, and I honestly feel like they really need the love, you know, just like right now as we interacting. Like, I love the concept of us being like this as black people, you know, just life, where you like to be in life, not have perceptions, rather have some correlation in terms of what we talk about, you know.
I think that's amazing, and I'd love to get involved with that drive.
Seriously.
And I'd love to bring, you know,
McCain food.
bring my people, get them on board. I think that's amazing, because the year is ending and it is winding down, and not everybody is going to have access to Christmas gifts and presents like most people do. So what can we do in our small way to make sure that those that don't have access to that stuff have some kind of Christmas spirit? Guys, there's some people right now that are not even looking forward to Christmas. It's just another day for them. They're not in that spirit and that cheer and that festive #December vibes.
Trifles.
Yeah.
Sunday plates.
You know?
It's not a thing for everyone.
So since we at the like end of 2018, like what would you say that it's one of your major achievements this year?
One of my major achievements. Jeez.
Are you still studying though?
No,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
done. I graduated last year. I think one of my major achievements would be so working for L'Oreal South Africa. I was an intern, and as of this year I got a new position. So the cool thing about it is not just like I got a job or I secured employment, but it's a new position that they created. It's never existed in the company before. So it's kind of like,
Undisputed.
even if you feel like you're not doing much, but the fact that God can actually create something tailor-made for you, because our general manager was literally like, okay, Rose, I've seen you, but I feel like this is you can pull this off. Here you go, events coordinator. So it's like, you may think that there's so many walls and barriers and stumbling blocks, and God can literally set you up like that. Like, who would have thought? When I started interning, I didn't think, if someone had told me on my first day, a year from now they're gonna create a position specifically for you, and it's the first time that position ever existed in this company. put it here.
Hashtag.
So I think that's amazing. That's like one of my highlights.
So we can probably say like you have a 9 to 5 and you're on the basis of self-discovery.
Literally.
I love that.
Literally.
So are you gonna do you have anything planned for like the Christmas, or like are you planning to go on holiday? Because I saw you went to Oship.
Yo, guys, can we just discuss Ocean? You guys are on my live.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Shout
what's
out.
up?
Passions pushed. Liberizations. Standardizations.
Oh, wow.
Make sure official measure wall, man, every Monday 2 until 3 o'clock. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Brandlife.co.za. Booyah! We got the lovely Rose, Mr. A11 alone.
Yo, but Fitz, you know, this is official Major World Online, and I'm your boy A11. Follow me on Instagram, it's A11.alone. Follow my boy D-Boy Mashmashisha and D-Boy Mashasha.
That's what's up, man. We got the lovely Rose, man. You know the beautiful thing about you, Rose, man, is that like I love the authenticity that you portray, you know, because as you speak about the slave queen type of vibe, man, like you're a breath of fresh air. I must say, like you're a real breath of fresh air. You know, like there are a lot of shenanigans. I remember I was on the gram yesterday, and then she only had a bath towel on, and I was like, okay, right, that is happening right now. That is happening right now, and I'm like, you know, like.
Yeah, but also, guys, let's also let women live their best lives. If a woman wants to be nude, if she wants to show off, you know, her goodies and her body, I feel like we also need to strike a balance between respecting women's prerogative to also display themselves however they feel best. Because for the longest time, I feel like women have not owned their own bodies. We've always been an instrument of pleasure for men. From the Playboy magazines, from porn. Even the way the porn is set up, guys, I feel like porn is made for men.
Yeah.
Oh, is it getting heated?
No, you know, you can elaborate. You know?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that, oh, someone wants to join my video. Okay, cool. So, yeah, so what I'm saying is that I think it's also important for us to, in as much as you may go on the gram and you see a woman half naked.
How should we react?
Yes, okay. Your first reaction, oh, slay queen, whatever. That may be true or not true. Regardless of that, what she chooses to do with her body, we also need to step back and respect. I've also had to come to terms with that. Like, we automatically jump to judgment. And as a woman, I've done that. I used to do that in the past. But now I'm like, yes, people like, oh, like with Kim Kardashian, oh, she's a mother. She shouldn't be doing that. Do you lose your sexuality as a woman when you become a mother? No.
No, indeed. And then you know you know.
So you agree with that? You're gonna back off.
Can I also just add something? You know, because I'd like to, you know, for somebody like you see, like the lady that I saw yesterday, I'd like to ask her, you know, how do you feel about, you know, men masturbating right now as they're looking at you? Don't you ever think about that? You know, like I'm just.
Do men really do that?
You know what? Like that's how porn works.
Oh,
Someone just said men jerk on their pictures on social media. Literally what you just said.
Because isn't it we're having like an open discussion, and like this is real talk. Like
yeah, but also what someone chooses to do with my pictures has nothing to do with me. As long as my intention in posting it on my social media, you follow me on my page. So that is my self-expression. That is me. This is how I choose to portray myself, and it's your choice whether or not to follow me. But also what you choose to do with my pictures. If you decide to make me a meme, if you decide to jerk off, I feel like that is no longer in my control. Right, guys?
Real talk. Real talk. you know, like this is why you're a breath of fresh air. You know, like Zimbabwe needs to think about you running for presidency. You know.
Roseanna Hall for president, guys.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. No, the election was this year. I don't know, like if does the term last for 4 years or 5 years?
Yeah, in Zimbabwe it's 20 years, guys.
Oh, 20 years. Are you touched about star signs?
I know I'm an Aquarius.
Yeah.
And I identify with it to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Reservations.
I have a few reservations. Yeah.
And then so that means you like me, you understand your star sign, but you don't care about other people's star sign.
Not really, because my boyfriend is actually a Gemini, and literally every time I see the stuff, I'm like, "Yep, that's you." So I can identify it in other people.
Yeah.
I can identify it sometimes in myself, but I don't know how much I subscribe to the whole. I think the important thing is, like with everything, understand it and agree with it, but also have reservations. It's so important, guys. I was listening to the radio on my way here, and they were talking about fake news and the fact that before you believe something and before you spread the information, you need to scrutinize the source, scrutinize what it means, and don't just accept everything as like Bible truth, everything as facts. Like, it's really important, because there's a lot of things that are swarming out there, and like most of it is not true. I try to be. I love to read, but I don't make enough time to read.
Seriously.
I have Michelle Obama's book. I have Gabrielle Union's book. Those are the two things that I have, but I'm literally like on page 5 for both of them.
Was it procrastination?
See, I told you my disease. I told you about my disease.
And you know, I can resonate with you. Like, I've always aspired to read, and you know, the only book that I last finished reading was when I was still in high school. But for now, like, it is so hard. Like, I even got a book speaking about mind power. Like, you know this.
You haven't read that book?
I haven't read that book. I haven't even got to the first page, not even the introduction, you know. And I feel like, you know, my friend here, he's able to finish a book. And I'd like to do that, you know, because I like to watch a lot of news. And I discovered that, you know, news nowadays is more negative rather than positive. Because I used to, I used to filter the news, you know. I used to take, like, in terms of the information, like when they say, you know, the biggest skyscraper in the world is this. But now the way it is so vile, like, you know, rather do you.
Yeah, on the thing of reading, if you're struggling to read podcasts, that's a thing. Like, I don't know about Android, but I know on Apple there's a podcast app. So like, I'll go listen to Oprah Winfrey's podcast. There's a lot of things on there. So if you struggling to read, you can do audiobooks. If you more like somebody that prefers to hear than to kind of, you know, concentrate in places. So if it's a self-help book, if it's the Bible, if it's like, for example, Jada Pinkett Smith's show, Red Table Talk, take different things and make your own self-help book, because I don't think there is any one book that has the answers to everything. So I believe in like a meshed approach. Take from here, take from here, take from friends, take from this, and create your own self-help book based on you as a person, what your goals are, what your aspirations are.
And then and then just to change gears a little bit, like, are you somebody who could write your own book? And then, like, in terms of content, like, what would you like to talk about, Rahul?
I think that if I ever do write a book, it will be about my life. And I think that when I do write it, I'll have to be at a stage where I would have achieved certain things. Because right now I feel like I'm all over the place. I'm not where I want to be. And I think that's with a lot of us right now. Like, we're achieving certain things, we're getting somewhere, but we're not where we want. We're not where we want to be. We all have pinnacles that we want to reach, goals and aspirations. So if I ever wrote a book, I would write about what I know best, and what I know best is myself and my life.
And you just mentioned, Honano, you were speaking about your boyfriend, like, as you're mentioning about finding yourself, like, is it easy to find somebody like who understands your story, where you want to be, and at the same time to accommodate
Supports you and
you know,
I believe in finding someone. I believe in
fate.
Yeah, I believe in fate.
Yeah.
Very, very much so. I don't like, no disrespect to the Tinder lovers, but I would never go on Tinder because I feel like that's very contrived and it's kind of like, hey, I'm looking for love, you know, like, and I think it works for people, but for me, that does not work for me. So I believe in finding your person, not through looking or through searching, because you may look and come across someone, but you're not, like you said, you're not at the same stage in life. There's no synergy. Your lives are not in sync. So I came across someone when I wasn't even looking, and we just so happened, and this is how I know that it's destined to be. We just so happened to find a flow where he has my back, he supports me, and I do the same, and it feels like years, even though it hasn't been years. So those things do exist, guys. Real love
Seriously
exists.
real love.
It does.
just off the cuff, né? Like in terms of first date, like are you more of like movies or something like my dinner, something for us to mingle rather than just to hang out together?
For a first date, I will always do something that takes me out of my comfort zone. Because the truth is, yes, dinner, lovely, wonderful. But the truth is, I'm going to be shy. I'm going to be nervous. You're going to be shy and nervous. Now we must sit at a table and look at each other. So rather do something physical, something active, something that will make both of you get out of that nervous phase. So like bowling or like something crazy, something fun. Like I wouldn't do a sit down for a first date personally, because I know myself, I can be very, very shy. So do something that will get you both laughing to break the ice, even if it's like going to a comedy show or going horse riding. Okay, I wouldn't do that, but like horse riding, whatever will get you to that.
Because like like I always want to understand like where ladies are at in terms of in the modern sense, because there's so many influences, especially like you work for L'Oreal, and I even watch television. I see Maybelline, and I feel like those adverts sometimes they cause ladies to be insecure about themselves. But I love the direction of certain brands, even though they do influence a chick to buy these things to alter themselves, but there are brands who want to uplift and unite women. And I also want to make men understand, what ladies want. It's even got to a point where I even watch talk shows. I know it's not much talk shows, but at least to understand, okay, this is the mind from where you guys at. It shouldn't be all rough. Sometimes and so.
What I can say is that in terms of marketing, like I think that puts a lot of pressure on women, and the fact that what you see in the TV ads, what you see, the polished filters on the gram, all of that stuff, and you start to feel so much pressure that you need to look a certain way. This has been something that's been going on for years, that as women we feel like we need to live up to the standard of beauty and the standard of perfection, and it's tough. Like being a woman is tough because like you always feel like you're not good enough. You always feel like you're only as good as your last post and how many likes you got on there with your 52 likes. But like it's difficult because of that. But I encountered something very interesting. I was in Sun City this weekend. And I survived the hailstorm. I'm alive, guys.
Shout out.
So, like, being in Sun City made me realize that actually 99% of us don't have those perfect bodies. Like, looking at the people there, looking at myself, I was like, actually, why am I so stressed? And yes, I did see 1% of a perfect bum with no cellulite, with no stretch marks. And I was like, wow, girl. Shout out to you. But majority of us are not perfect. Majority of us don't look like that girl in the TV adverts. We all flawed. We all have something that we're not happy about our bodies. We all have something that we wish we could work on. We all have that one thing that, you know, other people don't know, but we know is kind of like a crutch to us. So that kind of made me realize that I don't need to work towards a standard of perfection. It's difficult and every day is different. I'm saying this now, but next week you're going to find me crying about whatever, about something else. But yeah, I think moving away from a standard of perfection as a woman in this day and age is like one of the key things that I'm trying to train myself and my mind to do for my own self. Because the more I try to be perfect, the more I realize I'm far from perfect, and that can lead to things like depression and low self-esteem and things like that.
And like you come across as somebody who's got a very busy mind, you know. Like if you're at a place, it doesn't mean that you're there. Like also thinking about other things at that time. Is it that psychology aspect?
I guess so. My mind is always racing, and I think it's important to do that to keep your creative juices flowing, to keep yourself on your toes, to constantly better yourself. Like never be comfortable, because I believe that comfortability just breeds inconsistency and stagnancy. No one wants.
No, but I was gonna say like that has a negative and a positive way. You know,
What's
I mean,
the
like,
negative?
I mean, like you end up overthinking situations.
True.
Which causes.
True, and I am an
anxiety,
overthinker.
You know.
I am an overthinker. I do end up being anxious because so it's got like a middle ground, and you need to play in the middle.
And
otherwise, then I overthink a situation, and then I stress, and then afterwards I'm like, actually, what was I?
You know.
What was I worried about? What was I stressed about?
Because you start going crazy, like we're just walking. You're like, am I walking the right way?
How do I look? Yes.
Am I holding the phone the right way? You know, and now you start being paranoid.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with that. I think that overthinking can have that.
Yeah.
It has that, and I think with everything in life, it's got that dual whatever. Being a perfectionist, like people respect you for your work, and you know that you always deliver. But also the downside of being a perfectionist, people don't know that you don't sleep. People don't know that you overstress, that you don't eat.
People don't like you also, because sometimes you want things to be done in a certain manner.
Exactly.
Okay, are you talking about that? Behind the scenes.
Is this an inside joke?
That's what I'm trying to get.
Mari, you know what? Like, and I want ladies to interact more often, and also like to reflect on each other's problems, but also at least to galvanize each other, you know, because I feel like the change needs to come from us as the young people, you know. So more anything that we do and anything that you do, you know, you can hit us up, you know, especially like the ladies, man. I'm really touched. I'm really touched.
Ladies should find God, dog. I'm telling you.
Wow, really?
Like for real. You know, I'm not putting it in the.
And the gents don't need God. Why do we need God?
No. Everyone needs God. You know, because okay, but with the woman, I feel like the women are more insecure compared to guys.
What's fine?
Okay.
The only.
I need to go on Instagram Live for
No.
I'm gonna tag you, and it's your own fault. Whatever happens.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine. Like why I said a woman must find God. I mean, like if we find God, man, you won't care about what other people think. You know, over am I fat? Am I thin? Am I tall? Am I, you know, I got ugly toes? You know, you love yourself. You start to understand that God made you the certain way because you were different from everyone. You know, like no one should define beauty for you. Like beauty is what you made out of it. You know. Looking yourself, waking up in the morning and saying like, you know what, I don't actually need a makeup, you know.
I agree with you, but I feel like insecurity is a human disease, not a gender-based disease.
I'm sorry for that.
But I do agree, and I'll say back to my point that I raised, talking about how marketing campaigns and whatnot put more pressure on women to be a certain way, browse on fleek, you know, your wig, your edges are laid, you're this, you're that. So I agree, but I don't think as women we are born into insecurity. I feel like the way that society is set up, we are more prone to being insecure. So I agree and I disagree with you.
And like, we both need guidance.
Everyone needs to say
we both need guidance, you know, like
Because also I could talk about the fact that we're not trash, and I could say you need God, but I'm not.
And then
Sorry.
this is why the important thing is the guidance part, you know, because the thing about ladies that you're more inclined to be insecure because of one, most ladies are not raised by the fathers. Number two, like the advertising industry, the way it's shaped, that thing, like you always need to look ugly. That's the problem, you know. And then us as dudes, the thing is that we don't have enough men who are raising us also, you know. So and then we find ourselves as both on both parts, as young ladies and young men. We're raised by our cell phones, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, our cell phones, like, they give us negative energy,
validation,
and then
acceptance,
and then it exacerbates the problem, and then people start killing themselves, and then niggas start raping other ladies. Because I even have this theory that 70% of the men who commit rape, they didn't wake up in the morning and say, I want to go rape somebody. The other 30%, those are people who are clinically psychopaths, you know, people who don't have any, they don't have emotions like normal people. But the other 70%, because of there's so much negativity, it's like the reason that you'd like to go to McDonald's because you feel hungry is the same reason they made it entrenched in you when you were 6 years old, you know. So just like even the aspect of, you know, the porn industry, all these things, they get entrenched into us dudes, and then the next thing, I'm with my chick does her things, and then because I feel like there's an evil spirit that's, you know, that's engulfing the world, because there are weird things that are happening in the world, and I feel like it's unintentional, but it's intentional because of, you know, there are two sides of the coin, you know. There has to be the good and the bad side, you know. It was spoken about this whole, these type of events are going to happen, but I feel you, but like, this is what we need. We both need guidance, but we need to be the change amongst ourselves. So this show, this interview, man, you coming here, like, I love the concept, and we're gonna work more profusely, I hope.
Absolutely. And then the next time you're going to see me before this year ends is when we go to Mapasa. Mapasande.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share it on my social media and get as many people as I can involved. But this is not the last you're going to see.
Standardizations, the lovely Rose in the studio. How can people hit you up on social media?
So my Instagram is _golden rose. _golden rose. I'm more active on Instagram, so I think that should be first point of contact. I also have Facebook and Twitter, which I'm not really like. Instagram is my main chick, so _golden rose.
Hashtag the truth. Hashtag liberalizations.
Hashtag the rose.
Hashtag related CP. Hashtag to the new year, man, and I'm wishing you all the best for
Thank you
next
so
year.
much, and I wish you guys all the best. Love the work that you're doing. I think it's phenomenal, and I pray like multiplication of what you're doing now for 2019.
And I hope you recorded that.
Hashtag.
Yeah, but for you heard it from Rose, but for
Thank
this is
you so
official
much,
Major
guys.
World Online. But for right now, we're pull up by this song, and then we'll be back. Yep.
That's it.
Oh, I'm sweating, guys.